Good evening, Manchester United peep and peepettes. This is the Friday night takeaway. Good evening, guys. Today we talk Bruno Fernandes doubling his money. We talk Beek. Will he be back? And we talk Musa Diaby, this new exciting winger that we seem to be linked with. Today, talk.
Yo.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, all good. All good, bro. How you doing?
Always good. Eddie, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. I'm ready for a good discussion. So thanks for having me on.
No problem as always. And Martin, welcome to the Friday Night Madness, man.
How you doing?
How you doing? You're good, yeah?
Absolutely fine, thanks.
Good. Let's get this party started. Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, there was talks about him maybe being upset at the club. I did say at the time, I just think he's posturing for a new contract. He's doubling his money. Me personally, I have absolutely no issue with what they're paying him. He now becomes on the 240 that he will be earning. He now becomes the 7th highest player at the club. There's going to be players leaving ahead of him, obviously. So his fee will increase, and his order of money earnings will move him up once Pogba leaves, I suppose. But talk. Let me hear what you think about. Bruno.
Bruno. It's Bruno, isn't it, mate? I mean, look, when he first came into the club, he transformed us instantly, didn't he? Really, we all remember that. You know what I mean? And I hear people talking about giving the ball away and everything else. I'm like, yeah, but come on. If you look at his position, if he gives the ball away like 15 times in a game, but makes one pass that gets us the goal, he's done his job. Simple as that. That's what he's there for. So I'm not too fussed about his, this thing about giving the ball away and everything else. Sometimes he does make some strange decisions. I think a lack of concentration sometimes also I've noticed, just because, you look at some of the passes that he attempts, you're just thinking, wait a minute, who you put that to, Bruno? You know what I mean? But I think that's because he's so far ahead in his own mind in the game. He's seen things before everybody else. But sometimes you need players around him that can get on his same wavelength, which we haven't always been. In terms of the money, I think it's money well spent, if I'm honest, because we are going to need him, strength and depth, everything else. Going forward, we need quality players like this, and we had to secure him because as well as I do, there were going to be other clubs circling, waiting.
Yeah, can I just come in there? Yeah, because I hear the fact that Bruno was a savior for the team under Ole, in terms of the way the system was built. Yeah, it was built to really have him as the number 10 and to play everything through him, which is. I'm saying that's why we've seen a lot of goals and assists from him, because that's the player we played through. But we were counter-attacking. We weren't controlling the games. For me, Bruno's been great. I say, if we're just going to keep doing the counter-attack, yeah, he's the guy as a number 10. But we've seen that counter-attack doesn't really dominate games. It doesn't really control games to the point where we're going to be a proper team in the title race, for me. I was listening to Gabriel Marcotti on ESPN. He's one of them journalists that I do rate, to be honest. He was saying we should be waiting for the manager to come in and see what he thinks of the players before you actually give them contracts, because we've seen the problem. Yeah, we've seen the problem with players coming in. Yeah, it's a lot of club signings, a lot of players coming in being completely congruent with the manager's style. I mean, we've seen the current manager right now. He's taken Bruno sometimes into the number 8. He's kind of not looked great at number 8 because he likes to do the hero ball a lot, right? He doesn't really like to do the interplay, which is what I want to see Man United do. That's what the big team should do: proper interplay to control the game. So I don't think there should be a contract for him yet until we've seen the manager and see what he says in terms of using this player properly. That's my thoughts on it.
Again, I mean, I'm just going to say about the strength and depth. We have to. He's a top draw player, and someone like Ten Hag, I'm sure, will be able to get much more out of a tune out of him than is currently being heard. So,
but we've seen with Ten Hag, he likes a lot of interplay. Yeah, so Bruno's going to have to adapt his game because we've seen, like you were saying, Torkemu, he likes to try. A lot of daring balls where he gives the ball away. That's not the Ten Hag way, is it? It's to keep the ball, monopolize possession, build up properly. So,
can I just say, Bruno, I think he needs to bulk up a bit. You know, he fades in games sometimes, isn't he? You know, and he falls over, you know, wheezes a bit and all that kind of thing.
Theatrics as well when he falls over, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. But if any of you guys remember when Ronaldo first came to United and he was doing a lot of showboating and all that type of thing, and falling over and all this kind of thing, Ferguson had a strong word in his ear and he stopped doing it, didn't he? And he started to use his quality. Yeah. You know, to get him what he wanted, and Bruno's exactly the same. He's got the quality; he doesn't need to do those type of things. You know, I just think he just probably needs to put on a little bit of weight and then kind of dance his way through people. And you know, because I think he's a solid player. 240.
So Martin, real quickly, do you think Ten Hag can be the Bruno whisperer? To whisper in his ear, to simplify his game a bit more.
It depends. It depends. It depends on whether or not that manager is watching the flair players and thinking to himself, "Well, I know I can get the best out of this flair player here if I just have a strong word in his ear and say, listen, you don't need to be doing this, you don't need to be doing that, because you've got the quality, you've got the skills already, you've got the foundation, so you don't need to, you know, be falling over." You know, you've got the skill. He's kind of faded since Ronaldo's got there. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but he doesn't really do anything. You know?
I think if that was the situation at Portugal, that Ronaldo's the finisher.
Yeah.
At Old Trafford, before Ronaldo came, Bruno was our finisher. So it's finding his place.
Yeah.
It's finding his place in both teams when Ronaldo's playing. I think that's a big issue. But what do we want from Bruno? We want him to create chances for us. Do you know only Trent has created more chances with 76 this season? With 77. Bruno's on 76. The next person after that is Ward-Prowse, who's on 57. So if the players in the team, there might not be easy chances or whatever, but we know that our forwards tend to do miss. So, you know, for him to still be creating 77 chances, 76, 77, on a season where he's only scored, his scoring numbers aren't good this season. He's only scored 9. But I think
Mr. B, should that be the thing for a midfielder?
Creating chances?
I mean,
creating chances.
The goals.
No, the goals part of it, I don't have an issue with. I'll be honest. The goals part of it, I have no issue with.
The problem is, right, we in the 90s, we had teams built on a mixture of players in the team scoring the goal. So it wasn't just the strikers we were relying on. We were relying on all different guys. We had defenders scoring goals, even if it was 4-5. We had midfielders scoring goals, wingers scoring goals, and the strikers. Now, it seems like one person comes to the team and scores all the goals, and then everybody else stops scoring.
You know what?
That's the biggest problem. That's why I'm thinking this Bruno, he's got to be disciplined to play in the midfield as a number 8, you know, because we've got to work the channels. I want the box-to-box midfielders. That's how you control the game. That's how the big teams play. That's how Man City and Liverpool play. Not a number 10 playing everything through him where it's one-dimensional. That's what I think it is.
I hear that. I hear that. So I mean, I, I'm looking at the team being in. Okay, you look at what we've got left after the players at the club leave. Pogba gone, Matic gone. As a club, what do we have left as a midfielder? Is Bruno not worth the money? Are we saying that he shouldn't be
Yeah,
getting
he's
that
worth
200?
it. He's worth
So
it.
he is
He's
worth it.
definitely,
How
he's
much time did
definitely
he have
worth the
left
money.
on his first contract? How much time did he have left? Couldn't he have been like just left
Give
on
him
his
what,
original
another year?
contract?
What,
A
another
year.
year on half of his money? Well, maybe,
Right.
but you've got to understand who the players who are. You've got Martial, who is on more money than him. Martial doesn't give a flying toss about football because he's gone to Sevilla. Martial's my guy, and he stunk the place out. So it's not a money issue. It's not a earn. I think he's earned the right with the goal figures that he scored in the 2.5 years to have earned a new contract. Whether it
I
should have been
agree.
given now is debatable, obviously, but you have to keep our better players happy. You know, we haven't gone 300 grand, which is, Sancho's on Sancho's on a fair bit more than 240 by all accounts. So we've still got that wiggle room with him in regards to increasing his money. So my opinion, I'm glad Bruno is now going into the end part of the season a lot happier. Maybe the frustration he had on the pitch was he wanted to get the contract. I'm saying that because everything's
Also,
half full with me.
Mr. But don't forget, we haven't had a real positive vision for the club, have we? Since Ollie, when Ollie first came in, we on that run, that was a positive vision. We could see, oh, this is great. But then it all collapsed. It all collapsed. And since then, we've not had a positive vision because everything keeps changing. It's chopping and changing. Ralph comes in with a 4-2-2, can't make it work. He hasn't got defenders. Goes, crap, okay, I better change this up. And we've now reverted back to the 4-2-3-1. So now we bring in someone like Ten Hag with a positive, sort of proven vision in terms of philosophy and playing style. Also, good coaching staff around him. I believe the tune that we will be getting out of Bruno will be so different. And maybe somebody else who I won't mention because we're going to be talking about him soon. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But so for me, I'm quite excited about the possibilities, shall we say. I know it's not set in stone yet, but when you put all those things together in a club like ours, it's all gearing up towards a number one. I'll put it that way.
We need to stop messing around and have a proper clear out this season because we've been messing around for too long. People uncertainty with this player, that player, and all this business, and thinking that throwing money at the problem is the way to solve it. Sorry, and paying all this ridiculous type of money for people who are not even scoring goals, who think that they can just turn up when they feel like it. No, we need to go back to basics when it comes to wages. Make it performance related. You score so many goals, you get your money goes up to this much.
They don't know that doesn't.
Do you know what I
mean?
Listen,
that's wishful thinking.
I know it's wishful thinking, but as a club, Man United just keep throwing money at players, because they think that's the way to solve the situation. It's like
that's the bad management, Martin, isn't it? That's the bad management we've been under. Because, like I explained tonight, the Glazers have spent shed loads of money. Really, it's the bad management underneath them.
That's not good.
They've got it all wrong. You know what I mean? So,
how can we be one of the number one or something or near the top for wages when we're rubbish? When we're rubbish.
This is the thing, Martin. This is the thing. Yeah, this is why Man United really need to renovate the system, right?
Yeah,
we've seen
absolutely.
Exactly. We've seen John Moto as the DOF since 2016, I think it is, and he's and the players that have come in. There's been quite a few flops. I mean, we're going to
massive.
yeah, we're going to get into Donny van der Beek in a bit, but that's a big one. So for him to still be there, there's got to be a bit of a question. Is he going to work well with the manager that's coming in? You know, they're making all of these negotiations for players to stay. Is Ten Hag going to like Bruno? I've said it already. That's a big thing. The DOF has got to be congruent with the manager, not just making signings, which we've seen. There's been quite a few commercial signings come in. I still think Ronaldo was a commercial one in terms of getting his social media pull, getting his shirt sales. And I mean, he's still got some attributes on the field, but it's like we got too many OAPs up front. It's a bit of disrespectful, but Cavani, 36, I think, Ronaldo, 37. This is not good planning for like longevity. So, you know what I mean? I'm not liking the contracts being awarded before the manager comes in and assesses the situation.
You see, the thing is, right, as Woodward gone,
no, he's not. He's not. What do you call it? The CEO anymore.
Has he kind of
more of
took
a
his
consultant?
He needs to hurry up and look sharp and leave, because he's. Don't get me wrong, he's done a lot of good things behind the scenes for Man United regarding advertising and commercial deals and all this kind of thing. Because you look and you'll see on the billboards, he does a lot of all that type of work. But underneath, he hasn't really done anything good for the club in regards to pushing them forward. You know, he's made a lot of decisions based on his own personal opinions rather than footballing reasons, you know, and we've suffered for it and we look stupid, you know, and it doesn't seem like there's any sort of, you know, going back to when David Gill and Alex Ferguson left in the same season, it's going back to that, you know, taking two massive characters out of the club at the same time was a recipe for disaster, and we haven't recovered from it. You know, how can you do that? You know, I mean, David Gill, you know, what can you say about the guy? Alex Ferguson would say, I want this player. He would go out and get him. Boom.
Okay, so is this showing a lack of foresight, a lack of strength, a lack of mismanagement, which brings us really nicely onto Van der Beek? I think right now this has been one of the biggest levels of mismanagement at our club, to be honest. I haven't been impressed with anything that the club has done for him. I mean, what obviously now we're looking at, he's gone to Everton. Everton maybe wasn't the right club for him to have gone to on loan, because Frank Lampard is Frank Lampard's Frank Lampard. I'm not sure Van der Beek. I think Van der Beek just got out the club because he wanted to play football.
Yeah.
Will he get? He's going to, obviously he's had more game time and we've seen him, but these key games, I'm not sure Lampard's going to be playing him. So I'm not saying it was a waste, but now are we going to be looking? Is he going to be coming back to us now as the Van der Beek that scored the 41 goals and had 40 assists for Ajax? Is this the player that we're going to be seeing?
Mr. B, 1 second. Why has Van der Beek got the captain's armband there? When did he wear that? When he's not even played hardly any 90 minutes.
He probably took it off somebody who's going off the pitch as a substitution, man.
Yeah,
that's probably what he's got it for.
He quite clearly had it. But again, this is about the bigger picture here, guys. This is about the bigger picture. You're looking at a player here that came from, you know, a team with Ten Hag that did really well. And he came to us. We, for whatever reason, didn't fancy him. He's now gone off to Everton. It might not be working out for him too well there. But look, he's still the same Donny van der Beek that left Ten Hag to come to us.
Are you sure? Are you sure, man? His confidence was in the mud at Man United.
Let me say this. There's no way. I'll tell you now, if this Ten Hag thing does happen for us, Donny van der Beek will be rubbing his little hands together, because he'll know that Ten Hag will be like, right, Donny, come on, let's get it sorted, son. Right? And also, I just want to mention, you go back now and look, this season for us, it's been a bit of a mismatch in terms of mismatch even. terms of the formations and everything else. But look at the one big weakness of ours. The big plus is chances created. We created loads of chances. The big weakness of ours is sustaining the pressure. Whenever we've tried to put pressure on teams, we can't sustain it because of that midfield imbalance. Now we know
they don't have the fitness, talk MU. They don't have the fitness.
Well, there is that, but there's not just that though. They don't. Some of the players don't have the actual the technical ability in order to make it work. Scott McTominay, Fred. We know that they don't have these kind of skill sets. Whereas I believe Bruno has got those kind of skills, and I definitely know Donny van der Beek has got those skills. So if you look at all this now, the bigger picture now, you've got these big pieces of the puzzle that are kind of been put together, but they're all sort of separate. There's like big gaps. But I believe if Ten Hag comes along, he can pull all this puzzle back together. And I reckon in just a pretty short space of time, we will see a huge improvement. I'm not saying we're going to win any major trophies in the first season or anything like that, but I think we will see a huge difference in the performance levels. The performance is not just being one half; it will be managed correctly so that it's first and second half. With players like Donny, I think Donny will be part of the plan if Ten Hag happens.
He's young. He's young enough. He's only 24.
Yeah.
I expected more from him when he at Everton. To be honest, I expected him to be doing something, but obviously the sitting on the bench at United messed up his confidence. Big star. Can I
ask why did you expect more from him going into Everton, which were in a bad period, which they still are? And they're not really that technical with their play. If you look at them, they're bad.
But sometimes you look at some teams that are playing badly. There's always probably one or two players that are still playing out of their skin, or you'll see some flair come out of that player on a regular basis because it's in them.
Yeah, Martin, that's the thing though. Donny van der Beek is not really flair. He's more of a link-up player. So if he's got
I know
people at Everton that are not that good, he's not going to look that good, is he? If he's playing around people that are relegation level.
To be honest, I'm not a Frank Lampard manager fan. I was a player. I liked him as a player, but just because he was a good player don't make you a good manager, But I don't know. He possibly he may be able to get the best out of him. Like I say, he's only 24, so give him a chance.
Could I just ask this question here? Right, if you had to choose over Donny van der Beek or McTominay, Martin, who would you pick?
Come on.
On right now, I'd take Scott.
Oh,
Eddie?
Yeah.
Eddie?
I'd take Scott. Yeah,
so
I'd definitely take Scott.
Okay, we've got to look at the context, though, isn't it? For the new era of monopolizing the ball. If we get in Ten Hag, you're not going to want McTominay on the ball. He's not good. He's not good with control. He looks a bit too erratic. I've seen him try and carry the ball. He always looks like he's about to fall over. His passes, sometimes they're a bit too much power on them. He's not got the finesse. Van der Beek all the way if Ten Hag comes in. He's one of Ten Hag's children. Why would you?
That's probably a good point. But Mr. Hog's not there yet. So right now, I would take Scott McTominay over Donny van der Beek right now because Scott's got more confidence in himself right now because he's playing. Like I say, matey boy, he's going to take a little bit of work to kind of get back up there.
I take it then, Eddie, that you're going to take Donny, yeah?
Yeah, I'm taking Donny all the way.
Okay.
All the way. More technical ability. That's where Man United need to go. Not this whole running extra yards and all that stuff, man.
Mr. B, Scotty or Donny?
I'm gonna go with Eddie. I'm taking
what?
I'm taking why I say that. Why I say that is I have a picture in my mind of how I would like football to be played. And Scott, to me, isn't part of how I see football. This is just my opinion. For our team right now, Scott has to play. But
exactly, that's what I say.
But hopefully now, or going forward, even if it's Poch, to a certain extent, I'm hoping that our more technical players have the chance to flourish in our team. Get a system where we don't necessarily need that CDM, but we need a player in that position who can carry on with the philosophy of the team. So wherever a player is in the team, if you've got a system, you know, if the team is supposed to be overlapping on the left, whether it's the right back in that position or the left midfield, the team understands what they're supposed to be doing. That's what I want to see. You look at Liverpool right now, and it burns me to say it. They have a system. Whoever slots in certain play, they know they're going to get to the ball, to the cut. So players are already in there. Players are already thinking 2 moves ahead. It's a system, you know, and that's what I want to see. I want to see a system so that, you know, when our youth team are playing in the Europa Cup next season, that there's a system of play that is similar to what the first team are doing, so that when they move up, you know, they've already slotted into that. They're already in that mindset.
Mr. B, keep preaching, bro. It's got to be about that system. That's what I'm talking about. Technicality, bred throughout the grassroots, man. Keep going, bro.
So talk. You tell me, are you having McTominay or are you having Van der Beek?
Do you really even need to ask me that question, man?
You put the question out there, and I want to hear your
I'll give you the answer. No, it cannot be Scott McTominay. It has to be Donny van der Beek. It's simple as that. Because
based on his if he's at that level, but right now, which one would you pick? Which one are you picking right now?
Even if that's right now to come in now, if we could take Donny van der Beek back for this next game against Leicester, I'm taking Donny van der Beek.
Okay, fair enough.
Because you know we have to start somewhere, and it will be probably it's going to be the pre-season because it looks like they're getting their house in order in terms of getting things done at the right time, so that whoever does come in, that's going to have a pre-season, and you know it's just the way the Ten Hag works, you know, his philosophy, it's definitely sort of it leans itself towards what we want as a club, most definitely. Double pivot, single pivot, 4-3-3, 4-1-2-3, 4-2-3-1, and even a 4-2-2 diamond. You know, if any of them things that can be worked, and also changing it up in game if need be, depending on who the opponent is. And to do that, you can't do that with Scott McTominay. You just can't. So, you know, he's got lots of heart, he's got lots of energy, he's got lots of aggression. He's definitely a great striker of the ball. Scott McTominay, we know that. We've seen some of his goals, and he did start as a striker. But in terms of controlling the ball, working the space wisely, shielding the ball, winning free kicks in dangerous areas, no, he can't do that. Yeah. And that's where we fall down.
I agree.
I mean, look, the thing is, we want a coach. So, you know, let's hope that these managers or the next manager comes in is a coach who can improve the players that we've got. Because let's be honest, how much players have improved under any of the managers that we've had in the last few years? They've come in at a level and they've stayed that level. That's the level that they've stayed at. Bruno came in. We knew Bruno was good before. Look at his numbers in Portugal. He's carried on with that. But let's see an improvement in the players. That's what I'm looking for now. You know, right now it's a hard watch. You know, we're looking at our youth players. You know, we're calling the Mengies, these players who are out on loan, Ghana, doing bits at Forest. I'm hoping that the club and us as fans give the man time, because nobody's got a magic wand. We already know that you can't turn shit into sugar. And our club has a lot of non-sugar, you know. So let's be honest.
No sugar at the club, Mr. B.
There ain't no. Thank you. So right now, there's a lot of things that we need to be sorting out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I completely agree with that. I hope we can be patient, because we spent the last few seasons playing counter-attack football, pragmatic football. To make the change to high pressing football, dominating football, it's going to take a long time, because I've seen, from my interpretation, these players don't know how to keep pressing for 90 minutes. We've seen that they've been nicknamed one half FC. That's bullshit for even a mid-table team to be called that. That'd be bullshit. Man United, big Man United, are called 1.5. 1.5 team. That's mad. Without
First half,
patience,
second
man.
half.
You know something? I'll tell you something. It vexes me to have watched Man United for so many years, so many decades, win sporadically and then dominate for decades, and then watch Alex Ferguson's philosophy just disappear from out of that club. It's not even like he was even there for me when I watch Man United. There's nothing of him, love it, like him or loathe him, right? Roy Keane, what he says. Sometimes, when you see players orging up all the opposition players and stuff, there's no true grit in any of the players. It's all too nicey business. We need to get some guile back. We had guile all over the pitch, back, middle, front, everything. We got none of that now. Nobody's got no fight. So, don't touch my hair. Well, I'm getting paid big money for this. Do you know what I mean? We've got nothing. So it needs to change.
Man. You're right. There's that kind of, that angry Man United. That's what it was, angry Man United. It's
absolutely.
That, especially when you come to our gaff, you ain't winning, right? Because we're making sure you ain't winning. That angriness, that kind of come on. You know what I mean? Yeah, I miss that.
That's what it should be. Yeah.
Yeah, I do miss that. But I think there's going to be because as I'm sure you all know, Ten Hag is not a disciplinarian. He's more of an arm around the shoulder type of guy. You know what I mean? Which may
he's
work.
a bit like Ole. We can't have that, man. I mean, I might be. I don't know if I can support Ten Hag if he's like that. Too nice. You can't be too nice.
No, I don't think it'd be. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it'd be too that. I think he's going to come in there. He's got a clear philosophy and a clear plan, and he's going to put that into action. And he's soon going to see the weaklings. He's soon going to see, this is why it is going to take maybe 2 seasons for us to actually get into a real sort of proper dogfight with whoever's at the top of the league, because he's going to have to weed out the players, and he's going to. I think he'd be brave enough to be, look, no, you ain't working for my system, so you're out, bang. And hopefully he will dip into the youth, because we've got some fantastic talent for him to just cherry pick and go, you know what, here's your big chance. Come and prove yourself. You know what I mean? So I'm ready for that.
Guys, 1 second, Martin. Sorry, yeah. 1 second, Martin. Sorry. If you're new to the channel, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. We're on our way to 1.5K. We would appreciate a share. And don't forget, just hit that button. Martin, sorry about that. To interrupt with the commercial break. Back to you, big man.
Yeah, have you guys ever thought about some of the players that are playing in the Premiership that used to play for Man United that people like Van Gaal let go for nothing? Some of the good quality players that were sold during that period when people like Di Maria would come in. They just players just left and flourished under other teams, and they were quality players, And you think
but you see, but can I say something to that though? You see, with that, the club backed Van Gaal to make those decisions. That's what I want the club to do this time. Jose, as much as I hated him, I really hated him. He wanted to get rid of Martial. There was a reason why Jose wanted to get rid of Martial, and the club took that authority away from Jose.
But he's one of the Glazers' favourites, though, isn't he, Martial?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if he's a favourite. This is the problem.
I know.
Why is he a favourite? Eddie, I can see you itching. What you got to say there, man?
I was just going to say, this seems like a big thing. It seems like the club overrules these managers. Because with Van Gaal, when he won the FA Cup, we were playing quite a few youth players there. It didn't seem like Van Gaal got backed enough, in my opinion. He didn't have enough of his big dogs coming in. With Di Maria, I mean, he was good, but I don't know, something happened where I think did his house get robbed and then he felt insecure.
Yeah, he got burgled,
Yeah, and then
but you know the thing
from that, and then he left. So that's just one player though. What other big signings did he really get in? I mean, Falcao. I mean, was that really a big signing? He was coming from that big knee injury. He wasn't that good. I don't think he got backed enough. I think the club overrules the managers too much. Even with Ole, let me say this: with Ole in this latest season, we saw before this latest season he was playing with a lot of counter-attack players, right? And then all of a sudden he gets Varane, Ronaldo, Van der Beek, Sancho. All of these players are possession players. They are high press players, which doesn't suit Ole's system. This is what worries me about the Glazers. Are they going to really back a manager, or are they going to overrule him? That's
I want to say, Eddie, this is where I think a lot of us fans get the wrong end of the stick when it comes to what the Glazers actually do. I think it's the geezers who are under your likes of Woodward. He's the one who's doing the finances, and he's looking at it and going, "Hold on a minute, he's got to keep the books, sort of healthy for the Glazers, so they can skim off that money at the end of the season, at the end of the financial fiscal year, whatever you want to call it. They can take that dividend."
So I guess that's why they've changed to Rich Arnold then. So it's
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree because haven't you noticed when we sign players, we always take the longest to sign a player.
Yeah.
You got teams like Chelsea buying a player, signing him the next day, and the deal's done, and then he's playing on Saturday. Us, we take our 6 months before the deal's done, and then he might get into pre-season.
Or Martin, for Sancho 2 seasons, man.
Do you know what I mean? We procrastinate, man, when it comes to signing players, man. I just don't know why. It's just ridiculous.
It's bonkers, mate. It really is bonkers. And that was a happy day when I heard that he was on his way out. Woodward, it was like,
and me.
For that. Do you know what I mean? Because we do need somebody with them who's going to say to the Glazers and advise them, look, listen, there are ways that we can actually keep the finances healthy at the club, and that is by actually winning, right? You're actually winning football games, yeah. If you do that, but you can still do good business with decent players if you've got the right setup at the very bottom, which is, as we know, the manager and the coaching staff. So it's as it stands, like I said, for me right now, it's all looking kind of exciting and rosy. But we just don't know what's going to happen to it. But I am hopeful. I'll just say that I'm hopeful.
I'm not excited yet, man. I'm not excited yet because what I mean. I need to see proper signings coming in that suits the manager. Of course. Then I'll be excited.
Oh yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I mean, well, in fact, that's a good segue, Mr. B. If we can move on to our last segment, Eddie's just hit the nail right on the head. So we are now going to talk about.
Let's move on to Musa Diaby and talk. You were in full flow, so the title is up. The floor is yours.
Boom! There we go. There's Mr. Musa Diaby. Now I'm sure everybody, knows a little bit about this guy, and you can see his stats there. I've seen a little bit of him.
Is this through the YouTube video since we've been linked?
This is eye test watching games. So yeah, I mean, good first touch, good control, good ball control, pacey, decent at crossing, tricky as well. He's got some tricks. Good vision. He can see a look for a pass whilst he's got the ball at his feet and moving with it. He's not just a head down, let's go and bam, bam, bam. You know what I mean? But I'll say, there are, caveats to this, which is his defensive contribution. It's not great. He's not that good in the air. So, that's something that we are going to need.
Is he a right winger, by the way, Tor?
He can play both, yeah, and the middle as well. Yeah, he can play the middle as well. Yeah, but I agree. I agree because when I was looking at him, I think to myself, he can do everything, but he's not using his head at all. He didn't use his head at all, but he's got pace. Yeah. He's got pace like Ronaldo. When Ronaldo was in his prime, he's got that type of pace. Mm. So he could scare you, and I think that we could do with him. When you look at the likes of Rafinha, I know because we've been linked with him as well. He's too similar to Fred because he's a Brazilian, so he plays exactly like Fred. So I don't think
you need
Rafinha.
If
you look good, you look at him.
Oh, Jesus.
Listen, look.
Rafrida plays like Fred.
He's
Solo,
Brazilian.
yeah.
Look. I'm telling you, look at him. And some of the his attributes are like Fred's. I'm talking.
I'll tell you what, Martin. I can
I'm
kind of get
telling
where
you.
Martin's coming from it, because this guy
Look,
here,
I'm telling you.
Oh, Lord,
his strengths, some of his strengths, his two biggest strengths for me are making key passes and dribbling. I would say they're his two biggest strengths, I would say.
Look good.
I'm gonna have to look real good,
trust me,
boy,
look
because
good.
boy, I
He's
don't.
good. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's not good.
I
He's
tell
a
you what,
great player.
I see not even on the same half planet that Fred is anywhere near Rafinha.
He's got similar qualities in the way that they play. So I don't think the point in bringing somebody like him into the team is going to be beneficial to that. As this guy here, Diaby, I think he's more suited to us, the way that he plays. Do you know what I
What's
mean?
his dribbling like, by the way? This dribbling, like, is he like?
Yeah,
can he beat a man or what?
He's good at that. He's good at it. Yeah, key passes and dribbling, I would say,
Yeah.
are his. And also, like I said, he's tricky as well on the ball. He's got some.
I just know he's quick.
We need proper
I just know he's fast.
Yeah.
And
his value.
He's more
at the moment,
suited.
49 million. So
How much?
49.
So that is that a Man United price? Is that Man United tax price?
That's his. No, look, Mr. B, that's his current value as it stands right now. So this was up on the 24th of March.
Man United tax is going to be an extra 20 million on top of that. Then.
I was about to say 100 million. It'd be double.
I mean, if we end up paying, if we went in for this kid, because he is a kid, he's only young. If we went in for him and we was paying upwards of, I don't know, maybe say 50, 55, you know what? Given his stats and his playing style and what he could bring to the team, his pace, everything else, would it be good business for a Ten Hag to have somebody like that in the team? Because look, we have to think about not just the first team, but the strength and depth we've got. You've seen how Liverpool failed that season when they had that one injury. All the house of cards just went, you know what I mean? It all went south on them big time. So we've got to, and Manchester City, what have they got? Strength and depth. They've got top quality on the bench, top quality in the first team. You know, we've got top quality youth. We've got some decent players in the first team, but a lot of the peripheral players are very questionable.
Who have Liverpool got as their DOF, by the way? Do we know? Because they got in.
I don't know.
Who is it?
Oh, Diaz.
I have no idea.
Okay, but they got
007.
Diaz.
007. 007. I know he's sitting in the chat. Who's your DOF, big man? Sorry, I'll let you finish.
Go on, Eddie.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, the way they got in Diaz for 30 mil, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen how good he is technically. The pace, the dribbling. He's already got a Carabao Cup under his belt, and he looked good in that final. That was the first time I watched him as well. Looked so good, natural dribbler. And they got him for 30 mil. Like, Man United have got to have a DOF that can find these diamonds in the rough.
Can I say something, though? Do you think, because if you look at the player that we've been linked with, I'm interested now to see if we're linked with nippy right-sided players from now till the end of the season, because I think right now there's a formation change happening at Old Trafford. Could this be, you see, before Pep came into Man City, they bought Pep players into the club. Before they made the announcement, they bought Pep players in. Do you think maybe it could be that they're now looking for Poch or Ten Hag type players, knowing that the system that they play?
But are the systems similar? That's the thing. That's the issue, isn't it? Like, if they're similar, then it would make sense to be scouting for players at this moment. If it's going to be out of Poch or Ten Hag. So this is my issue. Are they just looking for commercial signings or just random people?
But this wouldn't be a commercial signing, because I'll be honest, before his name was mentioned, I had no idea who he was. So that's definitely not a commercial one.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that it's a German link, I think is more interested. You know, certain managers look in certain markets. When Wenger came over, he had the French market. He knew the French market. Obviously, Ralph knows the German market, so I'm wondering if it's a thing where, you know, he's putting feelers out. You know, in the December window, we were linked with Haidara again, that German link. I'm wondering if that's where United are going to be moving forward. Talk. Can I ask that question for you, bro?
Sorry, Mr. B, I didn't hear what you said then. Sorry, mate. I
Yeah,
was just checking something.
that's I know you was looking at the messages. No, I'm just asking, do you think that it's gonna be oh fuck. See, my head's gone now. Oh,
That was a big
man.
question. That was a big question there as well from Mr. B. Talk MU, what were you doing, bro?
Sorry, I was just
Yeah.
checking something. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, you know, once it's out of once it's out of my head, it's gone, bruv.
I know,
I
it's
keep
gone.
telling you, man.
It's gone. Who were you talking
Oh,
about? Were you talking about Diaby?
yeah,
Who
we're
was you
talking
talking
about style of play, and it's. I tell you
play.
what, Eddie, do you remember that question? It was a long walk. I did a solo, didn't I?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna be
When
honest,
you,
right?
when you went to Talk MU, like, what your question went out of my brain a little bit, you know.
See?
Yeah.
And then as soon as he stopped me, it went out of my head again. I did a solo. It just went in and straight out.
Well, can
My
I
day,
ask
innit?
What I'll
a
say
counter
is-
question
See.
anyways?
Go on.
Can I ask a counter question that will be on the same
Yeah.
kind of level? Yeah, you're saying, okay, you're kind of on that level of, you know, what is the DOF doing? Is he looking into Germany? You know, this is why I would have Ralph as the guy. He's German and he knows the German league. Why is he not a DOF? Why are we still having John Murta? Like, if you're gonna be ruthless, like I think Man United should be, you would have Ralph there to pick these guys. We know the links he's been linked with, the likes of Firmino at Hoffenheim. I'm sure, yeah, Ralph managed him, and he's been a great player since. Ralph knows how to get these underdog players and grow them into big players. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Ralph gets a proper consultancy role. I don't want it to just be consultancy. I just hope he gets a proper job there to have power.
I don't think they're gonna give him the power. I don't think they're gonna give him the power.
Either.
We've got to hope that we can still attract players, you know, because we not even in, you know, one time we were, you know, everybody wanted to come and play for Man United, but players are looking at whether or not it's detrimental to their career coming to play for Man United the way that Man United is playing football right now. You know, before it was a good career move to go to United, you know, when the way that it's been on the decline, players don't want to come there, Martin, unless you're greedy for money.
Well, say, Martin, is because I always ask this question, right? Because we talk about like Man City, Liverpool, and all that, and I always ask this question, and the question is, do you think that Manchester City and Liverpool have just got lucky in identifying all the best players all at the same time?
Not at all.
They haven't. Not
at all.
So, but again, so I'll always go back. Yeah, but I'll always go back to they see a player with potential. We don't have to go out signing these huge, you know, your Lewandowskis, your Haaland, you know, and whoever else is like top of the list. We don't. Yeah. That's not necessary. If you just go out and identify players that have got a lot of potential, who play in a similar style that you were wanting to bring to the club and what you're implementing, and you're good coaching and you're a good manager, you can get the best out of these players, and they're the examples.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Can I ask you guys real quick? Yeah, would you take Declan Rice for that like 80 million or 100 million that is kind of valued at right now?
No,
I'd take him 80 plus 80 to 90. I'd take him, but anything over getting towards over 100, you're saying nah.
But talk though. Can I just say though? I mean, we've seen the system he's played in. Even on England level, it's kind of a pragmatic approach, kind of counter-attack in a lot of situations. Would he really come in and suit a Ten Hag system, and then we're paying 80 million for him? You know what I mean? When you play the Man United system, it's not going to be any counter-attack. It's going to be possessing the ball for a majority of the game, being technical.
But also, that's the thing, is the safety net. Especially if you start thinking about a single pivot, which he would be, just him on his own, just sitting there as that block.
But he's not used to that though. He's used to a double pivot.
If you,
I think he's got it in his game. Sorry, go on, Martin.
If you check it out, right, history shows you with Man United, we buy or we buy good players from teams. We've done it for decades. But you get really, really good players come to Man United, and the flop. You know, they've done it. Remember Gary Birtles came from Nottingham Forest, did nothing. Gary, what's his name? Webb came from Forest and did nothing at United. It's something that's in our. It's in our DNA. You know, back long time. You know, like I say, I followed Man United for decades. You know, we've had players.
But then you look at the players who we've bought who have succeeded. The Jesper Olsens.
That's right.
If you're gonna be going that far back, so it's trial and error right now.
Yeah,
our infrastructure is up the shit.
Yeah,
you know, until they start employing people who can do a role that if you've got a cleaner, make him be a cleaner. Don't make him cook the dinner. You understand? You get a chef to do that. You know, there's too much man doing multi-purpose work. You know, just have a job and do your fucking job and get it done. You know.
By the way, Mr. B, you've just brought up something in my mind. What does a technical director do? Because I've never seen a technical director get booked on the sidelines before, like Fletcher. Yeah, this has got to be renovated, bro. This is ridiculous. Like you're saying, the right people got to be in the right roles.
Well, look, yeah, it's an interesting question, Eddie, and we will come back to that. But we're running out of time. But before we do run out of time, I just want to play a little game. So we're gonna have a game of guess the player. So I'm gonna give you I'm just going to give you a couple of tidbits and see if you can actually identify the player. Okay. So I'll firstly give you, don't want to make it too easy, but I'll give you his date of birth to start with. So born at 30th of March, 1972. And we're talking about a player, a Man United player here, ex-Man United player. So that's the first clue.
Okay.
Second clue, youth career. No, I can't say that. No, that'll be too easy. So Slavia Prague, Benfica, Lazio, Sparta Prague, and one that I can't pronounce. They're other clubs that he played for.
Poborski.
No.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
There's no way you got that.
Is that right?
Martin, what do you concur, or do you think it's somebody else?
He could be right. I'm 50.
Because I heard Slavia Prague in there. You know, that Czech Republic link.
Wow.
I just remember.
Is it how old?
50. Yeah, he would be. Yeah, he would be. Yeah.
Okay,
so he's
could be right. So yeah, so he's a big man. He's a big man.
Yes, it's Poborski, isn't it? Talk MU.
Mark Edmund. Yeah, you're right, Eddie. I'll give you that, bro. You did well there.
No way.
Oh,
I was thinking I didn't want to say
I
that.
need a prize for that one. That was a good guess, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, well look, we've got people in here saying we've got one person saying Kanchelskis.
Oh,
well done.
Ooh,
but he's wrong.
Guess. Yeah,
that would have been a good guess. So Bath Time has got Poborski.
Yeah,
we've got Solos. Yeah. I'm going to assume that the boss man got it right. Mark. So see, they're saying it was too easy talk.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest.
Listen, next time it won't be easy, mate. Next time it will not be easy. I'm going to make sure it ain't easy. But 1-0 to Eddie. That's 1-0 to Eddie then. So we'll try and keep a. In fact, I'm going to create it now while we're talking. I'm going to create a little Word doc here.
Right. See, we got that Word doc.
Right.
So, it's 1-0
you
to
keep
Eddie.
that. We keep that Word doc up. But guys, Eddie, thank you for spending your Friday evening with us, big man. It was appreciated. Yeah, you could have been doing something else. Listen. We've got a couple of things for you, Mister Quick off the draw. We'll work out a couple of things. Martin,
yo,
thank you so much, man. It's good to hear your views, man. Thank you very much.
Appreciated. It's nice to hear from fellow supporters, and debate. I haven't had it for a long time, you know what I mean? So it's all good. You know,
Thank you.
excellent.
Talk, my partner in crime. Thank you
Yes,
as
bro.
always, man.
Hey, no worries. Eddie as well, man. Eddie and Martin, yeah, big up to you two, man.
Yeah,
It was a good
thanks.
stream.
Nice.
I really enjoyed it.
I'll expect my prize after the stream. Yeah, for the answer.
You've got to get
Yeah?
10 out of 10. You've got to get 10 out of 10, and then you might get a lucky bag. But can't
Okay,
guarantee
next time then, yeah. Cool.
Guys,
good
again,
guess.
appreciate it. If you are still watching, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you're new to the channel, hit the share button, hit it on your socials, Eddie, before
Where
we
can
go,
we find? Yeah.
where can we find you, man?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. So if you're, type in Eddie's Football Waffle, that's Eddie with a Y. I'm going to be having some animation and obviously some commentary coming through. So thanks for having me on again. It's been a good show, and yeah, man, you got to inbox me about my
No
prize.
problem, man.
He wants that prize.
Martin.
I'm on it, man. I'm on that.
Martin, can we find you anywhere?
Yeah,
Any
you can find
socials?
me on TikTok, you can find me on Instagram, CA57LE_S Castles.
Say it again. Say it again, just in case. Say it's nice and slow.
CA57LE_S Castles on Instagram and TikTok. Sweet.
There you go. Guys,
Excellent.
thank you again for watching. All of you guys in the chat, 007, we saw you solo, Mark Edmund. Oh, Lord, you know what? I had them all in my head. You know it's Friday night. You know what my memory's like. But, again, appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. This has been The Takeaway. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Ciao.
Nice one.